Hey guys, welcome to today's tutorial. In this tutorial, I'll be showing you how to make this sleeping bunny. And this had went viral and the video is almost at 4 million views. So I just want to say thank you guys for all the love and let's get into it. Okay, the materials you'll need are some weight 6 yarn. Today I'm using Bernat blanket yarn. And you'll also need some pink yarn or blue yarn, black yarn, some stuffing, a 6.5 millimeter crochet hook, some scissors, and a yarn needle. Okay, we're gonna start off with the body portion. What we're gonna do is make a slip knot and then chain 21. Now this tutorial is gonna be a little bit slow paced because when I move on to the actual amigurumi with the magic ring and the rounds, I'm gonna show each individual round without skipping. So I'm gonna walk you guys through it just to help newer people who might get a little bit confused. Okay, now once you have your chain of 21, you're gonna go ahead and skip that first chain from the hook, and you're gonna go into that second chain from the hook here with a half double crochet. So yarn over, skip the first chain, go into the second chain with a half double crochet. Now once that's complete, you just want to go down the whole chain with half double crochets. So I'm gonna yarn over and go into my next chain here, half double crochet, and just repeat going all the way down. Also, I'm sitting here editing. I just want to say thank you guys so much for 24K subscribers. That is absolutely insane. I have a lot of stuff coming, more tutorials, more fun shorts, so stay tuned. And thank you guys so much. Okay, I'm on my last half double crochet here. This is what it should be looking like. And now just go ahead and chain 1. And then turn your work like so. And now we're going to move on to row 2. Okay, now we have the stitches and then we have the gaps in between the stitches. As I'm showing you here, the stitch itself and then the gap in between the stitches. Now what we're going to do is we're going to half double crochet in between these gaps. So go in between the gap and do a half double crochet. Now go into the next gap, the next stitch gap, and half double crochet. Go into the next stitch gap and half double crochet. And you just want to repeat this all the way down. So only working into the stitch gaps, not the stitch itself. And just continue your half double crochets all the way down. Okay, once we get to the end, you just want to half double crochet into that chain one we did on the previous round. So go in there, half double crochet, and this is what the piece should be looking like. It should be giving you a very nice pattern. And go ahead and chain one and turn your work. Now for row 3, we're just going to be doing the exact same thing. Find the gaps in between the stitches and half double crochet, only in between the stitch gaps. And just continue making half double crochets all the way down. Now once you get to the end again, just go ahead and do your half double crochet into that chain one, and then chain one, turn your work. And now for rows 4 through 20, we're just going to continue this half double crochet all the way down. I'm on my 20th row here, about to be finished. And then I'm just going to half double crochet into that chain one. And once you finish your 20 rows, you do not want to cut your yarn because we're going to start the border. Now this border might be a little bit confusing when you first start, but what we're going to do is work in between these stitch gaps like we've been doing. And what we're going to do is go inside of that stitch gap right here, insert our hook, yarn over, pull through, and then yarn over again and pull through to make a single crochet. And now we're going to go in the stitch gap next to it on the right and insert our hook, yarn over, pull through, yarn over again, pull through. And we're going to continue going into the next stitch gap towards the right. So go into that next stitch gap, make your single crochet, go into the next stitch gap on the right, single crochet. And once you start getting towards the middle, like right here, it should become easier to yarn over and make your single crochet. And now you're just going to continue this all the way around, but when you get to the corner, I'm going to show you guys what to do. You can see the cute spiral pattern this reverse single crochet is leaving. Okay, now when you get to the corner here, what you're gonna do is place 3 single crochets because we want it to round off nicely. So go into that same stitch, the same stitch gap with 3 single crochets so it starts to round off. Now once you've finished all of the single crochets in the corner, what we're going to do is just turn our piece and work into the stitch gaps here on the side. So just go in between that stitch gap and keep placing your reverse single crochets all the way around and doing 3 in the corner. At this point, you can really see how the pattern is starting to pop out. It looks very nice. And I'm going to come back when I'm almost done with my border. Okay, now once you go all the way around to the point where we started from, you're just going to go ahead and go into that same stitch gap and place 2 single crochets since we only started with 1. So just go in there and place 2 so we can round it off nicely. And then you can go ahead and chain 1 and cut your yarn. Now what we're going to do is go ahead and grab our yarn needle and put the excess yarn through the needle. And now you just want to go into that first single crochet we started with of the border and just go through the back and then go through the front of the last single crochet that we did. So it makes a nice little V and it hides the yarn. And now we could just go ahead and hide our yarn in between the border stitches like so. Like I say every tutorial, this is not a tutorial if I'm not struggling. But yeah, go ahead and just pull your yarn through there and then stretch it out a little bit so it's not like all scrunched up, and then you can go ahead and cut that excess yarn off. And don't throw that away, we could use that as stuffing for the headpiece later. Okay, now this is the finished body. Pretty nice, pretty nice. And now we're gonna move on to the head. Alright, moving on to the head, what we're gonna do is make a magic ring. And after you've made your magic ring, you want to place 6 single crochet inside the magic ring. Now once you have your 6 single crochet, you can go ahead and close up your magic ring like so. And now what we're going to do is go into that first single crochet that we made right here. And we're going to go inside there with a slip stitch. So make your slip stitch and then chain 1. And now we're going to move on to round 2. Okay, in round 2, what we're going to do is place 2 single crochets in each stitch around. So we're going to be increasing in each stitch going around. So let's go ahead and start in this first stitch that we slip stitched into and place 2 single crochets for an increase. That's our first single crochet. And now we're going to go back into that exact same stitch and place another one for an increase. Now we're going to go into the next stitch and do the exact same thing. So single crochet, go back into that same stitch and place another single crochet, and just repeat this all the way around. I'm not going to be cutting anything, so I'll be showing you guys the whole process. Now this is our last increase here, so let's go into this last stitch of the round and place 2 single crochets. And you want to be careful when you're using the slip stitch and chain 1 method, because we have our slip stitch and our chain 1 right before that first stitch, as you can see. So we should have 12 going around, and then we have our slip stitch and our chain 1. So we're going to go ahead and slip stitch into that first single crochet of the round. After you make your slip stitch, you can go ahead and chain 1, and now we're going to move on to round 3. Okay, in round 3, what we'll be doing is single crochet, increase, single crochet, increase. So let's go into that first stitch that we slip stitched into with a single crochet. And now in the next stitch, you want to place 2 single crochets for an increase. So go into that next stitch, place a single crochet. Now go back into that exact same stitch with a single crochet for an increase. And now we're going to go into the next stitch with just 1 single crochet. And then go into the following stitch with an increase. And this will be our pattern all the way around. So single crochet, increase, single crochet, increase. Now we're going to go into the next stitch with a single crochet. Go into the following stitch with an increase. Single crochet. Increase. Single crochet. Increase. Single crochet. Increase. This will be our last increase of the round. And now if you count your stitches, we should have a total of 18 stitches going all the way around. And we're going to go ahead and slip stitch into that first single crochet of the round. After you slip stitch, go ahead and chain 1, and now we're going to move on to round 4. Now in round 4, what we're going to do is single crochet, increase, single crochet, single crochet, increase, single crochet. So let's go ahead and single crochet into the first stitch that we slip stitched into. Now in the following stitch, go ahead and place your increase. After your increase, go into the next stitch with a single crochet. And now we're just going to repeat this all the way around. So single crochet into the next stitch. Now in the following stitch, make your increase. After your increase, go ahead and place a single crochet into the next stitch. Now we're going to single crochet into the next stitch. Increase. single crochet, single crochet, increase, single crochet, single crochet, increase, single crochet, single crochet, increase, single crochet. And this will be our last single crochet of the round. And now what we're going to do is slip stitch into that first stitch we made of the round right here. So avoiding our slip stitch and chain one, go into that first single crochet of the round and slip stitch, and then chain one. And now we're going to move on to round 5. Okay, now for rounds 5 through 7, we're just going to place one single crochet all the way around. So for 3 rounds, we're just going to place one single crochet all the way around. So let's go ahead and go into that first stitch we slip stitched into. And now we're just going to go ahead and place one single crochet in each stitch around for 3 rounds. No increases, no decreases. I'm going to go ahead and cut here since there's not much instruction, and I'll see you guys when we're at round 8. Okay, when you finish round 7, this is what your piece should be looking like. And now we're going to move on to round 8. Now in round 8, what we're going to do is single crochet, decrease using the 2 stitches, and then single crochet. So let's go ahead and single crochet into that stitch that we slip stitched into. Now we're going to make a decrease. So what we're going to do is go into the front loop only of the following 2 stitches. So go into that first front loop. Now go into that next front loop of the next stitch. Yarn over, pull through both of those front loops. Yarn over again and pull through both of the loops on your hook, and that is what we call a invisible decrease, and it just makes your piece look way better. And now we're gonna single crochet into the following stitch. Okay, now we're gonna go ahead and go into the next stitch with a single crochet. Now we're gonna decrease again, so go into the next 2 front loops like so. Yarn over, pull through both of the front loops. Yarn over again and pull through both of the loops on your hook. And now we're just going to make a single crochet into the next stitch. And now we're going to repeat this. So single crochet, decrease, single crochet, single crochet, decrease, single crochet, single crochet again, decrease, single crochet, single crochet, decrease, single crochet. Now we're gonna go ahead and just slip stitch into this first stitch of the round and then chain 1. And now we're gonna move on to round 9. Okay, now in round 9, what we're gonna do is single crochet and then decrease, single crochet, decrease. So let's go ahead and single crochet into that first stitch that we slip stitch into, and then make a decrease with the following 2 stitches, front loop only, single crochet into the next stitch, decrease using the following 2 stitches, single crochet into the next stitch, decrease using the following 2 stitches, single crochet, decrease, single crochet, decrease, single crochet, and then let's do our last decrease here. Now we're gonna go ahead and slip stitch into that first stitch of the round, and then chain 1, and now we're gonna move on to round 10. But before we do, we are going to stuff the headpiece. If you are enjoying the tutorial so far, please give it a like. It really helps this video reach other people so they can make this sleeping bunny as well. Okay, now moving on to round 10. What we're gonna do is just decrease all the way around. So using that first stitch, we slip stitch into, go into that first front loop, and then go into the next front loop of the following stitch. Yarn over, pull through both front loops, yarn over again and pull through both of the loops on your hook, and just continue decreasing. And then once you finish decreasing, you can go ahead and slip stitch into that first stitch we made. And then cut your yarn, leaving a tail for sewing. And then you could just pull up the loop. And now we're gonna move on to closing this little hole. But before we do, you just wanna stuff the piece a little bit more so it's not flat. Okay, now once you finish stuffing the piece, go ahead and grab your yarn needle and put your yarn through. And now to close up this hole, what we're gonna do is go in each of these front loops of the remaining stitches, as I'm showing you here. So go into that first front loop, pull through, second front loop, pull through, third front loop, pull through, and just repeat. And once you've gone through all the front loops, you can just go ahead and tug on your yarn a bit, and it's gonna close up that circle real nicely. And now we're gonna move on to the paws. Okay, starting off our paws, what we're gonna do is make a magic ring. And after you make your magic ring, you're gonna go ahead and place 5 single crochet inside. Once you have your 5 single crochet, you can go ahead and close up your magic ring. And then just slip stitch into that first stitch we made. And then chain 1. Now we're gonna move on to round 2. In round 2, you're just gonna place 1 single crochet all the way around, avoiding that slip stitch and that chain 1, and this is our last stitch. So go into that first stitch of the round and place a single crochet, and then just go into the next 4 stitches with a single crochet. Okay, now this can be a bit confusing because it looks like we have another stitch left, but we don't. That's our slip stitch and our chain 1. That's our slip stitch, chain 1, and then this is our first stitch of the round, and that's where we're gonna slip stitch into. So go into that first stitch of the round and slip stitch, and then chain 1, and now we're gonna move on to round 3. Okay, now in round 3, we're just gonna increase all the way around. So go into that first stitch of the round that we slip stitched into and place 2 single crochets. Place 2 single crochets into the following stitch, and just repeat placing 2 single crochets in each stitch around. Okay, this is our last increase here. Now we're just gonna go ahead and slip stitch into that first stitch of the round here, and then chain 1. And now we're gonna move on to round 4. Okay, for rounds 4 and 5, we're just gonna place 1 single crochet going all the way around. So let's go ahead and make a single crochet in the stitch we slip stitch into, and place a single crochet into the following stitch, and then just continue placing single crochets all the way around. I'm going to go ahead and slip stitch into that first stitch of the round to complete round 4, and then chain 1. And now we're just going to repeat this one more time. So place 1 single crochet all the way around. Now we're going to go ahead and slip stitch into that first stitch of the round, and then chain 1, and then we're going to move on to round 6. Okay, now in round 6, we're just going to decrease all the way around. So using the front loops again, we're just going to go into that first front loop that we slip stitched into, go into the following front loop, yarn over, pull through both of the front loops, yarn over again and pull through both of the loops on your hook, and now just continue decreasing all the way around. Now we're just going to go ahead and slip stitch into that first stitch of the round, and then chain 1, and then you can cut your yarn, leaving a long tail for sewing. And now you just want to make 3 more of these, but now we're going to move on to the ears. Now to start the ears, you're going to make your magic ring. The ears are very similar to the paws, but we're just going to add extra rounds of the 10 single crochet all the way around. So after you make your magic ring, go ahead and place 5 single crochet inside the magic ring. After you place your 5 single crochet, you can go ahead and close up your magic ring. And now we're going to slip stitch into that first stitch of the round, and then chain 1. And now we're going to move on to round 2. In round 2, we're just going to place 1 single crochet into the next 5 stitches. So let's go ahead and start in that first stitch that we slip stitched into and place a single crochet. And now we're just going to place 1 single crochet into the next 4 stitches. Now remember, this part can get a little bit confusing because our first stitch is here. This is our our slip stitch, chain 1, and then first stitch of the round. We're going to go ahead and slip stitch into that first stitch of the round. And then chain 1. And now we're going to move on to round 3. In round 3, we're just going to place 2 single crochets in each stitch around. So let's go into that first stitch of the round and place an increase. Go into the following stitch, place an increase. And then do the same with the remaining 3 stitches. Now we're going to go ahead and slip stitch into that first stitch of the round. And then chain 1. And now we're going to move on to round 4. Now for rounds 4 through 7, we're just going to place 1 single crochet all the way around. So for 4 rounds, just 1 single crochet all the way around. So go ahead and place that first single crochet into that stitch we slip stitched into. And then just continue placing single crochets all the way around. We're finishing up our first round of 4. So go ahead and slip stitch into that first stitch we made. And then chain 1. And now just repeat for 3 more rounds. This is our second out of 4 rounds done, so just go ahead and slip stitch, chain 1, and repeat 2 more times, and I'll meet you guys at round 8. Okay, now we're at round 8, and we're just going to decrease all the way around. So go into that first front loop of that stitch that we slip stitched into, go into the following front loop of the next stitch, yarn over, pull through both of those front loops, yarn over again, and then pull through the 2 loops on your hook, and just repeat that process all the way around. Okay, now once you've got to the end, you can go ahead and slip stitch into that first stitch of the round. Then chain 1, and cut your yarn, leaving a long tail for sewing. And then you just want to make one more of these ears, and then we're going to put it all together. Okay, moving on to the assembly. You should have one head, 4 paws, 2 ears, 1 body, and then we're going to use our scissors and our yarn needle. Okay, we're going to start off with attaching the paws to the body. So what you want to do is take your paw, the extra yarn that we left on, put it through your yarn needle, and now you want to pick any corner will do, and you just want to put your yarn needle through that corner, pull through, and then go back into your paw, pull through, and then you want to go back into that corner, pull through, go back into the bottom stitches of the paw, pull through, and then you can repeat this as many times as you want. But when I'm done, I just like to wrap the yarn around a little bit. And then once I wrap it around, I just like to go under where I wrapped around and then go through the paw and then enter out somewhere through the paw. Doesn't matter where, but I just chose the top. And then once you do that, you can just go ahead and cut that excess yarn off. And then hide the bit that's sticking out. And now you just want to repeat this with the remaining 3 paws for each corner. This is what it should look like after you did all your paws. And now we're going to move on to attaching the ears to the head. Now what you want to do is find where we did our magic ring and then count to round 3. So 1, 2, 3. And on this 3rd round is where we're going to attach our ears. So go ahead and grab one of your ears, use the excess yarn and put it through your yarn needle. And then you're going to count 1, 2, 3, go under that 3rd round, and then exit through the top of the 3rd round. Pull through. And now what you want to do is just go through the bottom stitches of the ear, pull through. Now you want to go back under that 3rd round and go to the top of the 3rd round, like so. Pull through. Now go back into the bottom stitches of the ear, pull through, go under that 3rd round, enter through the top of the 3rd round, like so. Pull through. And now I'm just going to go back through that ear, pull through. And you can repeat this as many times as you need, but I feel like my ear is pretty attached right now. So I'm going to go ahead and just hide my yarn. So I'm just going to put it through a random spot in the head, like so. Make sure it's attached. That looks pretty good. So now I'm just going to go ahead and cut that excess yarn. And then tuck that yarn in. And now you just want to repeat with the other ear on the opposite side. And then I'll get back to you guys with the face detailing. Okay, now we're going to move on to the face detailing. What we're going to do is count 6 rounds down. And then in between that 6th and 7th round is where we're going to place our nose. Now just choose a good spot in the middle. You can either do it between 2 or 3 stitches. I'm going to do 3. And what you want to do is just go through those 3 stitches a couple times like so until you feel like the nose is full enough. I'm going to go in it about 4 times. Okay, once you feel like it's good, what we're going to do is just go through a spot in the head so we can hide our yarn, like so. And then grab the other yarn tail and put it through that same stitch that you put the other yarn tail through. So go through the head and come out the same spot, like so. And then make sure it looks good. And once you're satisfied with how it looks, you can just go ahead and go back to those yarn tails at the back, tie a knot. Once you did your knot, you can go ahead and snip off those yarn tails. Now just take your hook, go through a stitch, and just pull the knot inside, like so. And now we're going to move on to the mouth and eyes. So with the mouth, you just want to go one row down from the nose. So go on round 8. Insert your needle on the bottom of round 8 and come out through the top. And then just repeat that so it makes a little mouth. And now we're going to move on to the eyes. So what we're going to do is go back into that same place that we came out of right here. And then you want to come out about 1 or 2 stitches away from the nose on top of round 6, like so. Then you can go ahead and pull through, and that's going to lock in your mouth. And now what we're going to do is go in about 1 stitch away to the right on the bottom, and then come out on top where we came out originally, like that. So it's going to make a little diagonal line, like so. And then what we're going to do is go back into that same place we just came out of and come out over here on this side. So go back into that same spot and then come out 1 stitch away from the nose, 1 or 2 stitches. And when you pull, you notice that completes your eye on this side. And now we're going to repeat the same thing on this side, but in reverse. So what we're going to do is go under the round, 1 stitch to the left, like so. And then come back out on top, 1 stitch to the left, pull through. And then go back into that stitch we came out of so it completes our little eye, and then come out where we started at. And we have our mouth, nose, and our little eyes. If the yarn is a little too tight in some places, you can just pull it out a little bit to fix it. And now what we're going to do with these tails is just tie a knot. I'm going to pull the mouth out a little bit so it's not as tight. But go ahead and tie your knot. And then after you tie your knot, you can go ahead and snip off those tails. And then go ahead and go in with your crochet hook and hide that knot inside the piece, like so. And then you can just fix up any of the face detailing at this point. But now our little face is complete. Now I'm doing a boy version, but if you want a girl version, you can go ahead and place your bow now. And I'm going to show you how to make the bow now because I forgot to earlier. But what you're going to do is just make a magic ring. And then after you've made your magic ring, just go ahead and chain 5. Now once you have your chain of 5, what you want to do is wrap your yarn around your hook 3 times. So that's 1, 2, 3. And now you want to go back into that magic ring, yarn over, pull through, yarn over again, pull through 2, yarn over again, pull through 2, yarn over again, pull through 2, and then yarn over again and pull through the final 2 loops. And I think that's called a triple crochet. Someone correct me if I'm wrong, but you just want to make 2 more of those. So yarn over 3 times, go through the magic ring, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2 again, and then yarn over, pull through the final 2, and then do this one more time. So yarn over 3 times, go into the magic ring, yarn over, pull through. Now you're going to yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2 again, yarn over, pull through 2, and then yarn over and pull through the final 2. Now that we did 3, we're going to go ahead and chain 5. Now once you've did your chain of 5, go ahead and slip stitch into the magic ring. Once you've done your slip stitch, chain 5. After you chain 5, go ahead and do 3 more triple crochet on this side. So yarn over 3 times, go into the magic ring, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2 again, yarn over, and then pull through the final 2, and I'll just repeat 2 more times. Once you've done your 3 triple crochet, go ahead and chain 5. Once you have your chain of 5, go ahead and slip stitch back into the magic ring. And at this point, you can go ahead and cut your working yarn and leave a long tail to wrap around the middle of the bow. Go ahead and close your ring. And now you want to take that yarn tail and wrap it around the middle of your bow until you're satisfied with how it looks. And once you're good with how it looks, you can just go ahead and go under that yarn you wrapped with your crochet hook and take that tail and pull it under that wrapped yarn. And then to attach it to your bunny, you can just go ahead and tie this around your ear and you'll be good. Okay, moving on to attaching our head to the body. What we're going to do is take that yarn that we have and put it through our yarn needle. And now you're just going to find a good spot in the middle and pull your yarn through like so. And then you're just going to go through some stitches on the bottom of the head. So like that bottom round, and you're just going to pull through, go back into that middle portion of the body, pull through, go back through the stitches, the bottom stitches of the head, pull through, go back into the middle of the body, pull through, go back into the head, the bottom stitches, pull through. And then I like to wrap the yarn around, like how I did with the paws. And then I just take my yarn needle and go under that wrapped yarn and go through a spot in the head, like so. And then go ahead and pull through. And then you can cut this excess yarn off and tuck in that yarn. And that is it for today's tutorial. If you guys enjoyed this tutorial, please like and subscribe. It'll really help out my channel a lot. And I hope you guys enjoy your new sleeping bunny. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.